Hi, I'm Jensen, an account manager here at Halp, dedicated to making your setup and transition to Halp as smooth as possible. This video is specifically designed for Halp admins who are looking to understand all of the customizations Halp has to offer. Okay, so today we're going to go through the Halp admin settings. This is what you'll have access to if you are an admin instead of an agent within Halp. What we'll go to first is your halp.com domain, and we'll click on this settings gear, which is next to the avatar of your face. And from here, you'll see that we have a multitude of different tabs and places we can go to adjust our settings. The first one is the General tab. As you can see, we have our default triage channel. What this is the channel where all of your tickets will go to if they don't have any recipes sending them elsewhere. So it's important to keep this as your largest channel, the one where you want all of your tickets to go to that are not routing to different places. We also have sandbox mode. What this will do is not allow anyone to make slash commands from tickets, only agents. So it's good for testing. Once you're live, I would definitely change this to disabled. Another setting we have is users can create tickets from reactions. Now what this does is disabling this allows only agents and admins to create tickets from adding the emoji. So it depends on whether or not you want to have everybody in the organization be able to create tickets or not. And so that would be the difference between enabled and disabled. Another one is requiring form data on message action and reactee tickets. This means that if I were to add an emoji to a message, do I want it to populate a form, or do I want it to just create a ticket, a general ticket with no specific form filled out? The next one here is subscriber notifications. This will affect how many notifications you're getting from the Halp bot. So whether or not you kind of want to get pinged for closed tickets, reopen tickets, when tickets are assigned to you. So I sometimes recommend doing only when not a thread participant. The next one here is /Halp ticket creation. This also includes /support and /helpdesk. What this means is if you have an Ask IT channel, when somebody does a /Halp command, we're choosing here whether or not you want to post that ticket into the Ask IT channel, or if you want it to just be a DM. So it depends on the transparency and visibility of that general channel you have. The next one here is allow fields of tickets posted to channels to be edited by end users. This is allowing the end users who had created a ticket to edit any of those fields. The next one here is preventing end users from closing tickets. If you have this enabled, that will mean that only agents and admins can close tickets in Slack. And then we have default agent replies to private. Right now we have it disabled. If we want to do a private message in Slack, we would start our message with a lock emoji. If we switch this and had it enabled, all of our messages would default to private unless we used a mega emoji before our text. And then lastly on this screen is our working hours. This is basically saying whether or not I want tickets coming in, let's say after 5 p.m. my time, if I want those to be tracking in my reporting, right? So if a ticket comes in after 5 p.m. or on the weekends, then I don't want it to track as not responding to that ticket soon enough. So I can adjust these working hours that make sense for my team. The next tab we'll look at is our appearance and messaging. This allows you to white label the bot, so you can change the logo, you can change the name, and you can make it look however you want it to be for your org. You can also adjust the messaging that you receive from the bot, both agents and end users. Then we'll cover our field builder. This allows you to add custom fields that are editable within Slack and within Halp's web UI. This can be things like IT categories and priorities. So I can add a custom field in here. I can call it priority. Create a drop-down, and I can add high, medium. Now with these custom fields, I can include them in forms. I can also create recipes from them, things that are triggered by these fields or have things trigger changing these fields. So we can walk through that when we get to the recipe builder. Now we'll go on to the form builder. This will allow you to create custom forms that you can have your end users fill out when they create a ticket or have your agents fill out. So if I added a new custom form and called it IT request, can add those custom fields I just created, such as priority. I can choose whether or not I want this to be required when you're filling out the form, and I can choose which channels it's available in. So if I selected, for example, just Ask IT, the only time this form would be available for my end users and my agents are if they're in the Ask IT channel. If I have it available for use in all channels, I can create a ticket from any place, including App Home, and I will be able to submit this IT request using a form. Then we'll go on to our recipe builder. These recipes will affect the way that your Halp bot acts based on conditions, actions, triggers, action targets, etc. So from here you can see the default ones. So we have when a message is marked with an emoji, ticket, create a ticket. We also have triggers based on whether or not an agent or a requester is responding to the ticket, and that is affecting our statuses. And we also have when a message is marked with the emoji ticket, assign that ticket to the person who added that emoji. We can edit these, we can add new recipes. One thing I like is I can configure this when message is marked with an emoji. Why don't I actually change this to the eyes emoji? And this will say, okay, well, when somebody adds a ticket emoji, keep it unassigned. Until an agent goes in and throws an eyes reaction on that ticket, it will then assign to the person who added the eyes emoji. We can also create a recipe such as when a message is marked with an emoji, fire, then set the value of a field, priority, to high. So there's really unlimited things you can build with these recipes, whether you're adjusting your triggers, whether or not you're changing your actions or your targets. The world is your oyster. We'll then go on to ticket statuses. These are things that can be affected by different recipes and triggers that you have set. The default is to have open, pending, and closed. I can add new statuses, for example, waiting on response. I can change colors and create new statuses that can then affect my recipes and my tickets. Next is our Agents tab. This will have all of our admins and agents that are inside of Halp. The first is your admins. These are people who can access this settings panel. And the next are agents. Those are the agents who are able to respond to tickets in the specific triage channels where they are assigned. If I wanted to edit an agent to an admin, I can edit that user and select their role to be admin. We'll then talk about service level agreements. So from our SLAs, we can actually create specific things based on statuses. So if I wanted to have an SLA that was waiting on response, I can actually select the duration that I'm going to allow that ticket to be in before it breaks an SLA. So whether I want that to be 15 minutes, 24 hours, 180 days, I can actually affect the way that this SLA is tracking based on the status that is selected. We'll then look at emails. This is where you can forward emails into Halp. So for example, if you had support@halp.com and someone emails that, it will automatically populate a ticket in your triage channel and you can respond to that ticket and it will send it back to email. We then have billing. This is going to tell you which tier you're on, so whether it's team or professional. It will also allow you to select whether or not you want monthly or annual payments. If you switch to annual, you save 10%. The last setting we have is our integrations tab. The last setting we have is our integrations tab. You can add integrations from Jira, Confluence, Zendesk, Jira Server, and Zapier. And this allows you to integrate with different ticketing systems and different tools that you use in order to make sure you have a two-way sync. We'll dive deeper on the integrations in our next video. Again, this is Jensen, account manager here at Halp. Thank you for joining. Drop us a line if you have any questions. We are always happy to help.